What is up? You hit under the chair and you hurt your knuckles? Voice crack, Lindsay. Did you hear that? That was for you. That was just for you. From God. It was just like, Lindsay needs this right now. She just needs Shane's voice to crack. That was a fake one. But the first one, totally real. Just for you. Okay, you sounded great. Lily, great scripture reading. I mean, I was fired up. It was fire. Luke's prayer, I could hear half of it. It was good, you know. Sometimes turning the microphone on is good. It's good. It's helpful. Helpful. Middle schoolers, what is up? You're not wrong. Also not wrong. How's it going? Me too. This is my first middle school embassy. Technically, it's my second. But my first one, nobody showed up except for like this little posse right here. So we went to Sonic, and I'm not going to lie, it was really cool. I got the Oreo a la mode, like the deep fried Oreos, and it tasted like Oreos and tater tots had a baby, dipped in ice cream. Do I get to be Oreos? Am I Oreos in that equation? I'll allow it. Cool. Middle schoolers, I'm so excited. I'm just a nobody. I'm confused. You're not, Jaden. You're somebody. Yeah, that's better. That's what's up. Hey, so trying to tell somebody or everybody about somebody who's for everybody. Something like that. Cool. It's about Jesus. It's good. It's good stuff. Cool. So, middle school, what is up? Other than the sky. I'm over that answer. Birds are sometimes up, sometimes down. The sun is up. What's going on in you guys' life? Like, tell me something good. Tell me something good. What? Yeah? Because you forgot what time it started? Yeah? I was like, where are those girls? I was literally thinking that, and then bam, here you are. When the lights went out, it was like, there they are. What's up, Brayden? Yes. I'm going to do mine soon, too. What's up? You scream all the time. What? Cool. I don't know what those words mean together, but that's cool. That's awesome. I hate this microphone. I'm so over it right now. It's like doing everything but staying to my face. It does. It's like, God's like, knock it off. What's up, Alex? So you became a gypsy? Or you're just over your fear of being a gypsy, and the next stage is to actually become one? You're such a confusing human. Like, 50% of the words that come out of your mouth, I'm just like, what? But it's okay. You're a middle schooler, and that's like part of what happens. So, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we're in this series. Does anybody know what series we're in right now? Incorrect. We're not in Y anymore. I almost broke my leg. Math. Lindsay took her PSAT this week, so she's feeling all smart. What about Alex? You have no clue? What's up, Jeremiah? X. That's right. Why is the series called X? Do you know? X is Jesus. There you go, right? Because it's church, and it's an excellent series about Jesus being X, right? So Jake, a couple of weeks ago, started us off, right, talking about the bread of life and how Jesus talked about being the bread of life. Duh. I mean, everybody knows that. It's been a minute since we talked about it. What's up, Brayden? Do what? Unfair? Oh, did he make you guys do algebra? You know what's funny? Jake doesn't know any algebra. What? How do you know? Because Jake didn't. Ooh. Did you hear that, friends? Google. Hey, so this week we're going to be talking about the next thing in the series, which is Jesus' I am statement saying, I am the light of the world. But before we dive into that, let me just tell you why we're doing this series. Because the first series we talked about why, right? The series is called Why, right? And I wasn't here because I was holding my adorable daughter, and she's super, super cute. I will not stop bragging. And so I was holding my adorable daughter, and I was trying to sleep when I could, and Jake did a great job of filling in for us. So, but somebody tell me, like, why? Alex, pay attention to me. Boys in the back, knock it off. Bad examples. Somebody tell me what the Why series was all about. Alex. Why do we do what? Why do we do God? Okay, I'll allow it. Braden, help him. Why are we here? And help me out, Braden. Like, why are we here? God. Absolutely, right? So God has a plan even when it doesn't look like it. And God's plan for what's up, Audra? God's plan for everybody is to follow him. It's called being a what? Disciple. It's called being a disciple, right? And so we told you like what a disciple was. Remember, a disciple is anybody who consistently says yes to Jesus. Does that ring any bells? Yeah. A disciple is someone who consistently just keeps on saying yes to Jesus. Now what we want to do is understand who this Jesus guy is that we're saying yes to, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to say yes to and follow and be like somebody who I don't know. Right? Right? If some guy on the street was just like, yo, you should totally follow me. You would, Michelle. You would. Uh-huh. For about 5 minutes. Do you guys follow people that you don't know on social media? Oh, don't get me triggered. You don't have to follow people back. You understand that? No, you don't. Can I humble brag? No, you guys don't care. Never mind. I was going to humble brag, but I'm not going to. If you care, ask me later. You don't have to follow everybody back on social media. You know how many people I follow on social media compared to who follows me? Like, not that many. Like, I get follow requests, and I'm like, allow. Follow back? Hashtag, nope. I don't need to follow you back. Yeah, I know, it was old. Sorry, Lindsay. It's fine. So, you're not obligated to follow anybody back. But you know who you are obligated to follow? Not obligated, but who you should follow? Jesus. There we go. There's the connection. So, what we're going to do tonight is talk about Jesus as the light of the world. I have a question for you, and I'm just going to ask you guys to be real truthful and honest and open with me, okay? Who here is or was afraid of the dark? Is that an is or a was? Is. So were you like more than a little nervous when we turned out all the lights? Like, was that scream when we turned off the lights a real scream? Uh-huh. So whenever I was younger, even than you guys are, my room did not have a lamp in it. So whenever I would like lay in my bed and I would read and get ready for bed, and you can put your hands down if you haven't already. It's cool because I'm not going to pick on you for anything right now. Anyway, so whenever I would be getting ready for bed and all of that kind of stuff, I would be, lights on. But then eventually, if you're trying to go to bed, right, you're trying to go to bed in the dark, right? The problem is that my light switch was on the other side of the room from my bed. Especially like that monster that lives under your bed, right? That everybody has. Like everybody knows that there's a monster that lives under everybody's bed. It's fine. It's a thing. So here's what I would do. I would get out of my bed to go turn the lights off, and I would turn the lights off, and it would be dark. So I would literally like sprint 3 steps and dive, because if you dive like over the black abyss under your bed, then you're safe, right? That was my nightly routine. It would be get ready for bed, this, that, and the other. Flip off the light, dive into bed. I'm glad I didn't kick that over. Every single night, which was probably why I was a fairly good long jumper in high school, right? Here's the thing. Now, I like the dark a lot, especially to sleep, right? I really need it to be pretty dark whenever I sleep. Anybody else that way? Like, I got to have it dark. Here's the problem. I have this daughter who lives in my room now, right? my baby, she sleeps in our room with us because it's like a thing that you're supposed to do. And so they have to have like these like night lights and sounds and all of this stuff. So not only is my room like half lit up all night, but it's also got like this weird sound going literally all night long, which is supposed to be soothing for my baby, maybe. No, my baby goes. That's what my baby does all night, on top of the sound machine going. And half the lights being on. Welcome to my life. That's my life right now. Do you think I sleep very much? You're right, I don't. Here's the thing, friends, is that somewhere in our lives, we go from being scared of the dark to being comfortable in the dark. And I'm not just talking about like physical darkness, right? Somewhere along our lives, we go from being like scared of doing wrong to being really, really comfortable with it. There's this interesting conversation that happens with Jesus where he's talking to the Pharisees, and they're like arguing about who he is. There's like the Messiah cannot come from Galilee, right? He can't come from Galilee. Nothing good comes from Galilee. Everybody knows that. And Jesus is like, yo, I'm the light of the world. And the Pharisees are like, what? Like, what does that even mean? Like, you can't even talk about yourself. And they get into this, like, weird, long argument about how Jesus can or can't talk about himself, right? So this whole light of the world thing, it kind of is just lobbed right in the middle of this really random spot in the text. But after doing a little bit of studying, a little bit of reading, what I realized is that, like, the entire book of John, are we listening? The entire book, thanks for your honesty. The entire book of John is all about the light of the world. I left my Bible back there. Good thing I've got one right here. Jake? Starting off, guys, in John chapter 1. Let me get there real quick. John chapter 1. Listen to this. Start at the very beginning, a very fine place to start. In the beginning was the Word, right? And that word there, word, is capitalized, right? So we know that we're talking about Jesus. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was God in the beginning. Through him, all things were made. Without him, nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that light was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, but the darkness has not understood it. He was in the world, Jesus, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who did receive him, to those whom believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God, children born not of natural descent or of human decision, but of the will of God. Listen, friends, when Jesus is talking about being the light of the world, that's a really, really big deal. Have you guys ever seen a lighthouse before? No? Just like in a picture even? Like we're familiar with the structure and purpose of lighthouses? Yeah? Okay, what's a lighthouse supposed to do? Abigail. Light things, sure. Abigail, go. Yeah, right? So it's kind of like a really big deal that really keeps things safe, yeah? What about you, Brayden? What's a lighthouse supposed to do? Yeah, so change our trajectory so that we don't crash. Yes. Yes. Bloop, 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 bloop. That was the ship sinking, in case you were curious about that, those bubbles. So lighthouses are a pretty big deal because they kind of like help show the way to keep ships safe, yes? I think that's a pretty safe statement. What if I told you, friends, that Jesus is your lighthouse? That Jesus, his role and purpose is to keep us safe, to bring us back to where we belong safely. Where do we belong? Home, sure. Where else? With him, right? Could we have gotten to him without him? No. Why? Because he's the lighthouse. Sure. Why else? Maybe. Alex. Because all of us are sinners. Don't look at your neighbor when I say that y'all are all sinners, all right? You should be looking at yourself. Everybody knows your neighbor's a sinner. Sometimes we forget that we're sinners too. I was like, we're all sinners. And everybody was like, you a sinner? You're a sinner. I'm not a sinner. Guys, we're all sinners. And we cannot get back to Jesus without his help. Like, we cannot get where we're supposed to go without him. Here's the thing about light, right? Andrew left, didn't he? Jake, come here. We're spitballing. Where's my box? Bruh. Come turn off the lights when I tell you to. Ugh. That was a handoff. It's Sunday. Turn off all the lights. Here's the thing. Don't scream. Here's the thing. Was that Lindsay? Oh. Here's the thing about darkness, right? Once you're in it for a long time, you kind of get comfortable, huh? Your eyes kind of adjust, right? But if it was to be pitch black in here, our eyes are naturally designed in such a way that our pupils expand and grow, which accommodates more light, and eventually we would get comfortable to where we can see in the dark. Yeah? What happens when I do this? The one flashlight that doesn't work! I'm not going to throw it. What did you say? No, what did you say? It's really important. What did you say? Okay, whoa. Jake, turn on the lights. Gently. Whenever I was little, my mom, and by little I mean like in high school, right? I ran track and cross country, and so I had to get up like stupid early in the morning. The thing is, I'm not a morning. Don't you flash at me like you're trying to work now. See that? So, whenever I was in high school, I ran track and cross country. I had to get up really early. The problem is I'm not a morning person, so my mom would have to come in and wake me up. And she would come in and she'd be like, "Hey, Shane, time to get up. It's practice." My mom's a saint, by the way, because she didn't have to get up early, but she did to wake me up, right? This is a different story, different connection. So my mom would come and get me up. She would knock on the door, saying, "It's time to get up, go to practice." I said, "Okay." You think I got up? No way. So my mom would do that a couple times. She'd come in. "Hey, Shane, it's time to get up. You're going to be late for practice." 3 or 4 times of doing that, you know what my mom does? She slips her hand in my room and flips the light. Darkness to light. You think I got up then? Why? Because, listen. Because when we're comfortable in the darkness, exposure to the light hurts. I read in John chapter 1 that the world, it said, Jesus, the light, came into the darkness, and the darkness did not know him. It's because the darkness had become so comfortable in the darkness and being dark that when the light came, it hurt. Friends, as we begin and continue on this journey of following Jesus, of moving towards the lighthouse, the light begins to work on us, to expose the darkness in us. And sometimes that's really going to hurt. It's going to hurt bad. Right? That's what we call sanctification, right? That's just a big church word that means Jesus is working inside of us to make us better. And as he works inside of us to make us better, he begins to turn our lives around and use it for his purposes, which is super cool, right? Right? Yeah! There it is. Just crickets. Jesus uses us for his purposes. Isn't that exciting? Crickets, nothing. You guys are the worst. Wake up! Jesus uses our lives for his purpose, which means, friends, first of all, that we are not and will never have to worry about being the lighthouse, right? We are not the lighthouses. We are not the people keeping everybody safe, right? Yeah. Right, Michelle. We are, however, flashlights. You're exactly right. I'm going to let it shine, right? Because when we experience the light and life of Jesus, he takes a little piece of his light and he puts it inside of us. And he says, now you go and show the world what it means to follow me. Listen to what he says in John chapter 8 whenever he makes his I am statement about being the light of the world. Right? Listen to this. Jesus spoke again to the people. He said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. Which sounds exactly like John chapter 1, because it's exactly like John chapter 1. In him was the light, and that life was the light of men, right? So friends, as we follow Jesus, what needs to be happening is our flashlight gets a little bit brighter and a little bit, you looked exactly like your mom right there, that was weird, a little bit brighter and a little bit brighter and a little bit brighter. You know what? It's never going to be as bright as these. And it's never going to be as bright as the lighthouse. Like, it's not your job to stand on the coast and, like, warn people, right? That's not what a flashlight does. But what a flashlight does do is it says, hey, you look like you're pretty dark over there. Why don't you come and walk beside me, and let's use this light together to get to where we're supposed to be. Ooh, what? Okay. Bam. Yeah, but she wasn't there, so she don't know that, but it's cool. Friends, here's what I want you guys to take away from tonight. Simply this. Your job as Jesus' followers, as disciples of Jesus, is to be a flashlight. You think you can do that? Yeah? What if, you think you can remember that? Like on Thursday morning, is first thing you're going to think of, I'm a flashlight. Is that going to be the first thing that you think of? I'm not going to lie. It's just, I just picked a random day. You think tomorrow morning you're going to wake up and it's going to be, I'm a flashlight. Do you think Tuesday you're going to wake up and I'm a flashlight? Wednesday, I'm a flashlight. Thursday, I'm a flashlight because it's Thursday and I'm tired. And Friday, it's like, I'm a flashlight because it's Friday. You think so? Well, then I guess you guys don't need the flashlight for that bot to give you guys. I believe it's you I live for. Right? Is that the song you're singing? It is, right? Oh. Here's the thing. I got us all flashlights so that we can be reminded every single day. I want you to put this in a spot that you're going to see it. There you go, Lindsay. That was another one for you. Put it in a spot where you can see it and be reminded every single day. Or maybe you use it at night to, like, stay up late reading. I don't know. That's what I did with my flashlights whenever I was little. Or drawing. Not that I'm condoning any of that, right? Because there's some parents sitting in here and they're, like, side-eyeing me from the back. I know. Not your parents. But, Jada, you're totally one who, like, stays up late reading anyway, right? She's like, yeah. Well, here, I got you a flashlight, so now it'll be a little easier for you. Kurt can take it away from you later. You didn't have to tell us that, right? It's good. Staying up late reading is good. Anyway, we're off task. The point is that I want these to be a useful reminder to you guys about who Jesus is and who you are because of who Jesus is. Who is Jesus? The light of the world. The lighthouse. Yeah, Braden, we'll roll with it. And who are you? No, you are a flashlight. You are a sinner who consistently is exposing himself more and more to the light to let Jesus redeem you so that you can be a flashlight to this world. You're exactly right, Braden. Preach it, brother. Yes.